many people in here for attracting agents the right way. I guess we can get started. We're actually over our start time. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Shareholder Summit. And this is the Agent Attraction and Growth track. And this track is on how to attract agents the right way. My name is Sean Murphy. I am joined by the amazing Elizabeth Riley, a six-time icon agent. And I believe she's like number 466 in EXP. So if you want to know how it all started, just be sure to message Elizabeth right away and do it a lot, because she's at the airport getting ready to get on a plane, and nothing would make her happier than blowing her phone up right before she gets on the plane. I'm also joined by Randy Wooters, who is a U.S. Growth Operations Project Manager. As we like to say in the growth department, all projects and everything lands on Randy's shoulders. So you'll be hearing from Randy about what's coming and what's best practices going on in the growth division. My name is Sean Murphy. I'm the Regional Vice President of Growth for the Western United States. As you can see, let me get my map going here. See. All right. See if I can presentation tool to work here. There it is. All right.
I can run the slides for you, Sean.
Okay. So as you can see by the map right here, I'm everything west of Colorado, including Hawaii and Alaska. I was born in Washington State on the East Coast. I actually lived in Washington State. I was born in Washington State on the West Coast, and I lived in Washington State on the eastern side. I've lived in Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, and mostly in California. I'm like a Western United States tour guide, which is really weird because I am really ignorant to most of the rest of the United States. I must be afraid to go past the Mississippi. I'm a former Navy helicopter air crewman, a combat search and rescue swimmer, and I have a couple other technical designations in the military I can't talk about. And for all of our veterans associates, I would like to sincerely thank you for your service. I understand we have quite a few vets out there. I want to make sure that we appreciate them, that we acknowledge them, and thank you for your service. This is about the furthest thing from your military training you're ever going to do. I've been in real estate for 18 years. I've been a managing broker and owner for 14 years of that. With Prudential Realty, now Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Blue Tide Realty and Executive Property Network, which I owned in Southern California, and Keller Williams Realty for the last 7 years. In the last 3 years alone, I've closed 3,850 transactions. I've done over $4 billion in sales volume, and I've attracted 504 agents to my 504 agents and teams to my office. My single office ranked number one in volume, units, gross commission income, and agent count in the Southern California region. And my average list price, for all of you that live in Wyoming and New Mexico, my average list price for my office was $1.7 million. So my favorite things are adventure trips. I do a lot of off-roading, and we call it getting lost. I do offshore fishing, I love surfing, and most of all, I love golf. My least favorite things are negative people, losing at anything, indecision, and most of all, golf. So if you visit my office in the Growth and Attraction Services offices inside of EXP World, not the campus, but in the world, you'll see a sign on my office that reads, Amat Victoria Curum. It means victory loves preparation. And since I despise losing, I do a lot of preparation. So let's get started here. How do we in growth help in the attraction process? Well, we help attraction through education. We like to say it's setting expectations. We educate the associates to understand the legality and process of attraction. Things like you don't send out blanket emails through paid campaigns to attract agents. It doesn't work, and it's not allowed by law. You don't talk about stock prices as an enticement. We're not securities brokers, and the stock's great, and it does matter, and we probably are not the people to discuss that. your prospects and agents will tend to blame you for fluctuations in the stock market where we have very little control over that. You don't have unsolicited conversations with owners, managers, and brokers of publicly traded franchises and companies. This is called tortious interference, and it's against federal law. But most agents coming off the street, or most productive agents who are transactionally based, they don't know these things. It doesn't matter to them. It's not part of their world. Your average agent on the street doesn't recruit or talk to anybody, so they don't need to know these things because growth is not in their vocabulary. When we're talking with companies, other companies, we're looking for an email or a text from a prospect that allows them to discuss transitioning to another brokerage, whether that's because of an expiring franchise agreement or because of their decision to terminate their employment with their current company. Just so you know, we're not the permission police. If they say in writing that they're allowed to talk to us, then that works for us. It puts it on them. We're also here to educate your prospects about the details of EXP. Aside from accommodations provided to larger transitioning brokerages and teams, we have a unique value proposition. We have a financial expert that does an apples to apples financial analysis of their current business. This is a deep dive. It allows them to see the financial benefit of this great company. This is one of our most requested things for larger teams and brokerages. We'll take the last 12 months of their real estate career and we'll put it on paper, and then we'll show them what it would have looked like if they were if they were at EXP. We don't add in any of the maybes, although we do that. We'll do a 1 year, a 3 year, and a 5 year financial analysis. We don't add in the maybes. We make it an apples to apples process so that they can easily understand. They can easily understand how much money, how much benefit they're going to get from this company. We specialize in negotiation. The overall object is to help change the lives of as many agents as we possibly can. You keep that as your focus. I know many of our top influencers, Elizabeth here, Dan Beer, Kyle Whistle. When you get up into these people that, the Pete Middletons and the Fazios and the Jen and Rob Flicks, they are focused on changing people's lives. They've moved past, hey, this is $20 to me. This one's $100. They don't focus on that money. They're focused on changing many lives. So the overall object is to change as many lives as possible. The regional vice presidents have years of experience in recruiting. Not even fair. I've been a recruiter in real estate for the last decade. Our objective is to get them to yes, but we also need to identify if it's a fit. We're the experts that get off the fence. Finally, we set the expectations and assist with integration. Our one object is to take them off the fence, hand them over to agent experience and onboarding, and let them work through the system. We want to set all their expectations up front, though. We don't want them to get into the Join app and go, hey, what's this? So how do we work with larger teams. It used to be a hard, fast rule, 5 people or more, but that's not written in stone. Brokerages, major influencers, teams, about 7% of everybody that joins EXP on an annual basis. So we're thinking in the next year, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be 50,000 people. I'll talk to 7% of them. So you can do the math. Of the people that join EXP they come through the regional vice presidents and the growth department, and it's a department to handle the massive amount of growth that we're doing. This is a big department. Let me look right here. All right, how do we stack up against other brokerages in the market? That's our specialty. What are our values? We all know the community, service, sustainability, collaboration, transparency, innovation, agility. Everybody knows the fun one. If you're at EXP, you better be the king or queen of memes and one-liners. So We also know the programs and services that we offer to help them succeed, like the mentor program, the masterminds, express offers, commercial, global expansion. There's so many you can't even list them. But how does this benefit the agents, the teams, and their brokerages? You have to understand other companies out there don't have half this stuff, and they charge twice as much. So you just have to be able to sit down with them, explain the benefits they're going to get legally, compliance-wise, administratively, educationally, and show them these are all things that cost tens of thousands of dollars on the outside of EXP. You know, you're probably asking yourself, when is the right time for the growth department to step in? Well, obviously, on the fence and need to close. There's those people, they're standby to standby, this may be a maybe. They're standing on the fence. They got iPhone when it was iPhone 8. Said, hey, look at my new tool, my new iPhone. So those are the people we need to talk to. People they're having a hard time making the decision. We also need to know that objections to certain aspects of the model, most of the time it's a lack of information that causes the doubt. So we ask the right questions to these influencers, to these teams, to these brokerages to uncover what their true pain point is. We can help create a solution to help them or their team or their brokerage transition to EXP. We've got many years of experience in identifying a roadblock and creating a win-win around it. Don't get me wrong, no magic pill. Some people are just not a good fit for EXP. We're looking for like-minded individuals that understand our model and are not trying to fit into their vision of a model. Sometimes they want to change the company to be like them. But as you guys can see, with 53,000 agents succeeding at an extraordinarily high level, we don't want to change our model. We don't want to fit you. You're going to fit into the EXP model or not. And like I said, it's not for everybody. If you want to go into a giant office every day and have people clap as you walk in the office and give you accolades and spend all your money paying a perpetual split or a high cap, then this isn't for you. As a corporate partner, we're here to help our sponsors. So many agents, let me look right here. I'm trying to look at the chat as we go through. Many agents, they have questions about the legality, the policy, and state requirements. Or worse, they don't have questions about policy and legality and state requirements. We're trained to ask those questions. We're trained to understand things like trailing E&O policies, franchise buyouts, stuff like that keeps them from joining someone else. Some things they don't even realize when they're coming over that are going to cost them the second they leave. And their franchise or their publicly traded company isn't going to disclose this to them. So we understand that setting expectations up front saves countless conversations and frustration later. As we pass 50,000 agents in the United States, on the way to 100,000 agents this year, there are some systems that will need to improve or be replaced. Hence, Randy. Our goal is to systematically follow up during and after onboarding. Proactive and responsive solutions for transitioning teams and brokerages, and the onboarding process that helps you attract more agents. Bottom line, we're here to help you attract and retain the very best agents and teams in the world. That's what we do. So I'm going to turn this over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth Riley, 6-time Icon Award winner, and she is at the airport, so we're hoping for a great connection. Elizabeth?
Hi there. I'm not at the airport yet. I'm actually sitting in the parking garage. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
How cool is this though, right? I mean, talk about agility. That's one of our core values. We're driving to the airport, we're presenting in shareholders, we're participating in shareholders, and we can do all this from our computer. So how very cool is that? Sean, you were awesome. We are so blessed to be in business with you. You've come on the scene recently as well as Amy and Kanal, and you guys are just supporting all of us in such a big way. So thank you for all you do. I'm Elizabeth Riley. I am blessed to be here. I've been at EXP 6 years now, and it's flown by. It's one of those things. I know a lot of people are talking about whether it's a good fit or, timing. And to all of that, I would say, yes, absolutely. It's timing. You've got to, we want people that are looking for us. And so I'm excited to share a few things today. Am I running the slides? I'm sorry, I'm asking this.
I got you.
Never mind.
I'm with
Somebody's
you.
got me. Randy, you rock. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about attraction do's and don'ts. Everybody attracts in very, very, very different ways. But, people always want the secret sauce, or what's the thing you're supposed to do. And the reality is every single person is going to be different in what they're looking for, right? So I'll talk a little bit about what I do when I'm talking to people. I'll talk a little bit about things we really don't want you to do or not, or to do or not to do. But let's talk about some of the don'ts, right? One of the biggest things I think agents make the mistake of doing is spewing EXP, y'all. We are so excited about our company. We are so excited about everything that we have at our fingertips. And so sometimes that excitement comes off really not well with others, right? I tell people this all the time. I went to Texas A&M, and we are filled with tradition at Texas A&M. And we had a saying that said, from the outside looking in, you can't understand it. And from the inside looking out, you can't explain it, right? That's EXP to me. So you want to show people what we have. You want to show them our culture. You want to show them just everything we have that fits for what they're looking for, right? Because people want to buy, they don't want to be sold. So if you're talking to people about EXP in one way, but that's not of interest to them, you're going to miss the opportunity. When I met Glenn years ago, he was talking to me about the world and all these other things, and I didn't get it. But when he started talking to me about stock and rewarding icons and rewarding top producers, that's what got my attention, right? So find out, ask the questions, get to know them, find the pebble in their shoe. If they're happy, awesome. We want happy people at our company, right? So don't talk about other companies in a negative way. Don't spew EXP on them. And the biggest thing is don't poach, right? When we've grown in such a big way that the reality is once people are at our company, we all win, right? We want people to be here. I've lost people that have gone to other lines that might have been another fit for them, but I still win because they're at the company, and I know their life is going to be changed. So what we do not want to do, though, is if there's somebody in conversations with another EXP agent, don't take those people. Don't poach them, right? I want to say that it doesn't happen, but it happens. And so just be mindful. One of the things I've started doing is asking those questions up front. Who have you been talking to at EXP? How do you know about EXP? Really understanding what they know and who they're talking to. And I've had so many conversations where people are saying, I was talking to this other person. Great. How can I help support your decision in working with that other person? Right? Add value, because that is their experience. That's what we're about. We're here to build each other up, not tear each other down. So if somebody's talking to somebody else, you don't have to spend a ton of time. You don't have to go on a whole recruiting campaign with them, but add value and see what questions you can answer, because people want to understand different people's perceptions and experiences within the company, right? So my experience is going to be very, very different than, somebody else, but they can add value in a different way. So see how you can support our fellow EXP family by just supporting them, even if it's not somebody coming in your line. So some of the things to do: invite, and invite, right? Inviting people to shareholders, inviting people to our events, inviting people to lunch and learns if they're in your market, invite to our, events all over the country. That is a huge opportunity for people to really understand what we're doing. I'm actually getting on a plane right now to fly out to Phoenix to participate in Chuck Fazio's event, right? So how cool is that? And I have somebody in Phoenix that's going to come to that event. If you're going somewhere, if you know something that's happening, invite them, even if it's not in your market. Okay? And if there's not anything going on in your market, y'all, start something. We have in Austin, I'm in Austin, Texas, and we have a big need for all of us to just come together and collaborate. And so I was like, well, we're not doing anything, so I'm going to start something. So we had a big happy hour last night, and every single Tuesday we're going to have an education event, not EXP Explained, but an education event, building our agents up. But it's an invitation opportunity where other agents from other companies can come see how we collaborate. We don't compete, how we collaborate, right? Let them experience what we're doing. Then you don't have to tell them anything. They're going to make an informed decision on their own and really be a part of what we're doing. The other thing I would say is ask a lot of questions and really get to know their wants and needs, because they'll probably be very, very different than what yours are, right? When I'm talking to somebody, I want to understand what's important to them. How's their business? What are they missing? What are they really looking to do? How could we help them? Because we're not a fit for everybody, and not everybody's a fit for us. So I don't want to tell somebody, hey, this is what we can do for your business, if that's not really something we can do for their business. Somebody doesn't want to plug in. If somebody doesn't want to show up, I can't force them to be motivated. I can't force them to want to do business, right? And then what happens is they'll get disappointed or disgruntled and leave, and that's not what we want either. We really want a high retention rate. So if you get to know them in advance and ask them what they're looking for and where we can come in and support them and partner with them, that's going to help in a whole big way. And I guarantee you those other companies aren't really asking those questions. They're just really telling them about telling them about them and why their company's so great. Show them why our company's so great. And build your business to attract others, right? I am still in real estate. I am still building my business. I personally did 30 million last year in 2020. So that will attract great agents. People are watching us. People are paying attention to us. They're seeing what I'm doing, and they will reach out. So if you're building your business, and if you're allowing EXP to build your business and pour into you in the different, 50 hours of training, the iConversations class, y'all, if I'm not on that stage, I'm in that class. I am learning in big ways. One of my biggest takeaways from this company early on was, I do some luxury here, and I was a big fish here. And I went to a class on luxury, and it was Chuck and Doug out of California, out of Beverly Hills, doing luxury. And I just sat down and I took all these notes because they're going to pour into all of us. Why? Not competition to them. Most people won't do what you're telling them to do anyway. And if I win, they win, because we all win as a company. So if you build your business and you pour into others and allow others to pour into you, then that is a huge attraction that money can't buy, right? And I said, lean on to others, right? Even in the attraction piece, if I have somebody, Sean was just talking about this. Amy's on the East Coast as well, Canal Central. If I have somebody that's a big team or a big group, I can rely on them and I can lean on them to help. But even if you don't have a big group, even if it's just one person, reach out to agents in your market that you respect and admire with the company. Reach out to agents in your organization or even around the country. If I have an agent that I just really want them to experience what we have, I will put a Zoom call together with amazing agents from all over the country just to have a conversation. So you don't want to do this alone. Show them the power of EXP. And like I said earlier, magic equation, there isn't one, right? The more you ask, the more you engage, the more they feel important, the more they feel heard. That's really what you need to do. So talk to people, just get to know them and ask their questions. If you don't know an answer, find out. Just let them know. I will find out. I don't know the answer. And there's so many resources with workplace, within your organizations. Find the answers. Don't make things up. And don't talk. Ask them questions and listen. People want to talk about themselves, right? People want to be heard. So just ask a lot of questions and get into relationship. I'm very, very, very relational. I treat attraction like I treat my clients. I want my clients to feel like they are the one and only client. I do that with my agents as well that I'm talking to. I'm very passive in my attraction process. You'll see a lot of people up here that are really forward and aggressive and bold, and I'm trying to get there, but at the same time, that's not who I am. I'm not going to change who I am because other people are winning. They're winning in different ways than I am. So be who you are, be authentic to you, and just support as much as you can, and others will support you as well. All right, I think we have another one. Okay, third-party validation. One of the ways that you really can lean on others is called a third-party validation. I know a lot about the company, but if I'm trying to attract somebody, I want them to hear it from somebody else, and it also builds me up, right? So if I have somebody, I'm going to reach out to, I don't know, Gene or Randy or anybody that I need. It doesn't even have to be a power player or a huge influencer. Find somebody that's similar to that person, knows some information that they might be able to share. Get on a Zoom call, and it creates credibility, but it also creates curiosity. So align with a few agents. You can just even have some accountability and say, hey, can we set up calls once a week? Can you help me if I'll help you, right? Ask what they need to know. If it's a team, I'm an individual agent. And if it's a team that's coming on, I'm going to bring somebody on that's a standard team or a mega icon team, depending on what they're looking for. If it's an icon, I'm going to bring on another icon. I'm an icon, but they already know about me. They already know my story. They already know my experience. What other icons can share their story that would help them come to the company? Is it a rookie in your area? Is it a rock star? Right? Just whatever you're looking for. My good friend Terrence came over, and here's a great story. I talked to Terrence. Terrence had the #1 brokerage in College Station, and he and I were friends, and we talked for 4 years. 4 years, y'all, because I wasn't asking the right questions. I thought I knew what he needed, but I didn't. It wasn't until the expansion conversation started that he was like, wait a minute, that's what I'm looking for. And then he was open to a conversation. So I had to bring in the power players that knew about expansion because I don't know. So if you don't know something, just create that accountability and that support to get on a third-party call. That's it. Okay, you can go to the next one. And as I mentioned, again, I tend to go on tangents, so I'm sorry I'm not following the slides like I should be. But if you plug in and show up, you're not going to fail. Get involved. Go to the events. I had FOMO missing one of the events last week, and I'm not going to miss it this week. So just get engaged. The more you know about EXP, the more you're building your business, the more powerful your story is going to be. All right. And love on people. I love on my clients. My business is 100% referral because I love on my people. Do the same thing with your agents. Bring them on board, get them connected, make sure they feel appreciated, involved, and not just another number, because they will stay at this company when they get plugged in. Oh, hi, Terrence. I'm glad you're in here. I just saw your note. This is super fun. So that is all I have today. I'm sorry I spoke really, really fast, but I'm just multitasking a little bit. But if I can ever serve you guys or be a resource, find me on Workplace. I would love to help you guys. If I can ever get on a call and help you talk to somebody else, please reach out. I love this company. I love this organization. We are all family, and I'm here to help. So thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Riley. You are a complete and total icon, rock star. We are so glad to be partners together in this massive endeavor that we're all on. And thank you guys. Yeah, just everybody in the chat, just thank Elizabeth so much for her time and carving out just a few minutes before she jumps on a plane. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Randy Wooters. I am the U.S. Growth Operations Project Manager for EXP Realty for the U.S. And I tell you what, it has been what a crazy, crazy wild ride that we're on. I started just 2 years ago on staff, 3 years ago at EXP as an agent. And I got to tell you, it has been a whirlwind. When I started, my very first encounter was the fact that we had just passed the 12,000 agent milestone. 12,000 agents seems so tiny compared to, we're just past globally 53,000 agents, which is incredible to be a part of. And I'm so glad that I was able to be just a small part of that. If you don't know who I am, that's totally fine. I get it. I'm probably the last guy you'd talk to because I'm really working in the background. I'm working behind the scenes, doing things for you guys that you might not have known I was doing. So that's okay. That's the way we like to keep it. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today, just kind of furthering on the conversation of attracting agents the right way. Today, we're going to be talking about the model itself. I think that the biggest issue with agents now is that they feel like they have a new version of EXP. And I got to tell you that the version of EXP that's the best is already here. It's the EXP model. And I don't say that to say that you can't add to that. Absolutely, you can add to it. But I got to tell you, some people just really need to hone in and learn the model the best they can and really dig into the power and potential and opportunity here at EXP. All right, so we're going to talk about a few things here. I have this narrowed down. I know we don't have very much time, so I'm gonna speak kind of quickly, and then we'll do a couple Q&A at the end. So in selling real estate and understanding the entire process of selling real estate, that is how you're going to attract somebody in real estate. Now, that might sound like the most Captain Obvious statement you've ever heard, but if you're joining EXP, you've never sold a single piece of property ever, and you want to try to recruit somebody to EXP Realty, but you've never gone through the process. You haven't learned SkySlope. You don't know how to use KV Core. It is really tricky to be able to adequately describe the opportunity. So my first advice is sell real estate. That sounds really obvious, but sell real estate because that's the best way to attract, just like Elizabeth Riley just told you. She is $30 million in production, 6 years Icon Award. Guys, she doesn't have to sell real estate. You guys understand that, right? She does it because she loves selling real estate, and what a great model she is for those that want to get into real estate. She understands real estate front to back, back to forward, every little bit. You have to be in production to understand what the agent that you're attracting is going to go through. Okay, so that's my first tip is sell real estate and do a great job. Start a team, build a team, make real estate the first and foremost part of this, okay? All right, second, taking the time to learn how EXP operates, okay? Asking questions wherever you can. I want you to take your assignment this week, if you choose to accept it, is to go into EXP World and pop into every single department that you can get your little avatar into and start asking questions. What do you guys do? How do you help the agents? Why would I send an agent here? What are you for? How can you help me in my business? The more you learn about EXP Realty and the more groups you're in and more workplace groups and the more collaboration that you're just immersed in, the more armed with knowledge, the more you'll personally grow, which is never a bad thing. And the more you'll be able to direct new prospects into the full opportunity here at EXP. If you're only looking at the numbers, you'll save money on commission. Then you're missing a huge part of EXP. If you're only looking at rev share, then you're missing a huge part of EXP. If you're only looking at the stock, you're missing it. I have to tell you the secret sauce, and guys, listen very carefully, the secret sauce, I'm getting ready to drop a nugget on you. The secret sauce of EXP is not the compensation plan. What is it? Tell me if you can make a guess. What's the secret sauce? Secret sauce. Put it in the chat. What do you think? Culture, people, keep going. Keep going. The model, keep going. What do you think? Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. You guys are hitting it. Collaboration is the secret sauce at EXP. I've seen so many realtors come in. Brought a guy in a year and a half ago. He was doing $13 million in New Jersey, right? $13 million. In fifth year, he topped out. He capped. That's his plateau. 1 year here at EXP, over doubled his volume in 1 year because he had the tools, the systems, the resources, but most of all, what did he have? The masterminding, the collaboration, the iConversations. Guys, he was getting plugged in. He started to learn the value of EXP is not the compensation plan, it's the collaboration. If you can get your agents plugged in and engaged at a high level, they're never going anywhere. Trust me, if you can double somebody's business, what are the chances of retention in that case? It's astronomical, right? So ask every question. And then I love this last one. Thank you, Dave. You pretty much already spoiled it for me. But yes, read the ICA. All right, go ahead, admit it. Tell me if you've read the ICA. Just admit it. Say yes or no. Read the entire thing, front to back, 34 pages. I've read it. Let's see, Meg, you're laughing because we're like ICA buddies. We've read that thing probably 100 times. you've got to understand the independent contractor agreement because it spells what's an ICA. I love you, Terry. Thank you for proving my point. ICA, independent contractor agreement. I'll tell you what, is there a place that they can go to read that, or maybe their email? Thank you, Terry. I'm so glad you're just kidding, Terry. That scared me for a second. But you're not wrong. That a lot of people, thank you, sample ICA. A lot of people don't know the business because they've actually never read what they signed when they came on to EXP. I challenge you this week, read the ICA front to back, and then ask questions. The more you get to know about the model, it's all in there, by the way, in case you're wondering. The more you know about the model, the easier it is to explain, and the more confidently you can explain it. And an added bonus is that you're giving the correct information. I mean, that's half the battle. So read the ICA. Next is read the policies and procedures. Okay, if you haven't gone to Explore Guide, you need to go there. We do have policies and procedures. Updated. Thank you, Meg. Awesome. The policies and procedures. What can I do? What can I not do? I can't tell you how many emails we field every single week, every day. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I not do this? What can I do? Guys, it's all there. It's all spelled out. We want you to be on the right side of that line. We never want to have to slap anybody's wrist for doing anything the wrong way. So you need to know your business. And I say that with love, okay? Don't hear me like I'm coming down on anybody. I say that with love because the more you know, you guys are seeing the meme come across your visual site right now. The more you know, right? You need to be armed with knowledge. One of the first things that I did here at EXP when I was hired is I read everything that I could. I devoured the ICA, the policies and procedures, attraction best practices, the pledge, the Explore Guide. I devoured everything I could because knowledge is power. And the more you understand about the business that you are a part of, the more you truly partner with us here at EXP, and the faster and bigger your business will grow here at EXP. I'm going to wrap it up right now. I know we've only got a minute or two. If you've got any questions at all, go ahead and throw them in the chat. What kind of questions do we have that we can answer right now? It's actually not quite 50 pages, but yeah, it is pretty extensive. It's about, I think the new one is 38 pages, but yeah. All right, so 2 minutes left. Any questions, throw them in the chat. By the way, if you're wondering who the heck is on the other end of growth.team at exprealty.net, somebody put that in the chat for me. Growth.team at exprealty.net. It's going to be me. It's going to be a handful of others, but we're going to answer every single question, same day or next day. That's my promise to you. I don't want to guarantee weekends, but I pretty much answer them anytime that they come in, okay? Anything you have that you need to ask because you have no idea, I'm either going to give you the answer or I'm going to CC the right person on the email and I'm going to say this person can assist you, or I'm going to point you in the direction of the right person. And I guarantee you, if I don't know it off the top of my head, it'll be a fun little or stump Randy game for me because 99.9% of the time I'm going to know who to go to for whatever answer you need. All right. It's a group of secret ninjas. Exactly right. Meg's part of the secret ninjas as well. Guys, it's such a pleasure. I want to thank again Sean for introducing this session and Elizabeth for just bringing so much fire and nuggets of truth. I hope you guys brought your buckets to pick up all these nuggets of gold. And as we continue, shareholders, just keep taking notes, keep inviting people. It's not over yet, okay? All right, guys, that's going to conclude it for now. If you need to reach out in any way, growth.team at exprealty.net. You guys are awesome, and keep growing.
And yes, there's a company contact list. Just go to the EXP Explore Guide. Just wanted to get that before you left.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. And stick around.
Awesome job, guys. You rock. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Dave.
Good stuff.